Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studios, sponsored by Grain Equipment Company, where innovation meets execution. I'm Dave Russell. Well, the Environmental Protection Agency has been murky at best in outlining how farmers, builders, and landowners should comply with current Waters of the U.S. regulations. Chad Smith has more on the confusion surrounding implementation.
Despite several requests for clarification by agriculture and other industries, the Environmental Protection Agency has failed to provide clear guidance on the 2023 revision of the Waters of the U.S. rule. Courtney Briggs, Senior Director of Government Affairs for the American Farm Bureau Federation, testified before Congress last week, saying the agency has made the rule difficult to comply with.
The agencies have not clearly defined very important terms within their rulemaking. These are terms such as relatively permanent or continuous surface connection. And I mention them because they are really linchpins for how this administration is seeking to implement the WOTUS rule. But to add insult to injury, the agencies have also failed to release implementation guidance to inform landowners as to how they intend to implement this rule.
Briggs says a lack of transparency could lead to harsh consequences for farmers found in noncompliance.
There are really steep penalties for noncompliance under the law. They adjusted it for inflation. It's $64,000 per day for every day of noncompliance or jail time.
AFBF is continuing to advocate for more information from the agency. Chad Smith, Washington.
U.S. egg production totaled $9.08 billion during August 2024, down 3% from last year. The average number of layers during August totaled 370 million, down 3%. Total layers in the U.S. on September 1st were 372 million, down 3% from last year. Well, the USDA has announced investments in two of its premier international development programs, one that is focused on nutrition and education, the other assisting countries in strengthening their ag systems.
The purpose of USDA's McGovern-Dole International Food for Education and Child Nutrition Program, as explained by its two creators and principals.
To see every hungry school kid in the world fed. And if we could do that, it would be a marvelous achievement.
And if you get to eat, you can make better grades. You can stay awake. You can study.
Late U.S. Senators George McGovern and Robert Dole, respectively. This week, USDA announced investments of $248 million for McGovern-Dole to support projects in 9 countries. Projects designed to provide nutritious meals and boost literacy and primary education for children, especially girls. In addition, an over $218 million investment through USDA's Food for Progress will assist 7 nations in efforts to strengthen their ag systems through climate-smart, sustainable production, and ag trade approaches. I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
For the 13th consecutive month, the Rural Main Street Index sank below growth neutral. That's according to a September survey of bank CEOs in rural areas of a 10-state region dependent on agriculture and/or energy. The region's reading in September sank from 40.9 in August to 37.5, the lowest level since COVID began in the spring of 2020. Ernie Goss of Creighton University says weak agriculture commodity prices, sinking agriculture equipment sales, and elevated input costs pushed the index below growth neutral. For the 4th time in 5 months, farmland prices also sank. The markets, they're next.
Navigating mental health insurance benefits can be overwhelming, but you don't have to do it alone. The Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office is here to guide you. Our expert team will help you connect with your health insurance plan to understand available behavioral health benefits. Say goodbye to frustration and hello to control over your mental well-being. Call 855-438-6442 today.
Nearly 90% of farmers say that financial worries, constantly changing market conditions, and other uncontrollable variables take a toll on their mental well-being. Add in the weather and family dynamics, well, it's a lot to handle alone. But did you know farmers and their families can receive free confidential services from licensed professionals? Support is available 24/7 to help with the challenges you face. Look for Farm Family Wellness Alliance under the Resources tab at farmfoundation.org. Take care of yourself. Your well-being matters.
The market's brought to you by Seed Consultants, simply better performance, online at seedconsultants.com. At the Board of Trade, December corn $4.15 1/4, up 3 1/2. March corn $4.33 1/4, up 2 1/2. November beans $10.53 1/4, up 11. January beans $10.71 3/4, up 11 1/4. July wheat $6.23 1/4, up 9 1/2. At the Mercantile Exchange, October cattle $183.05, down 15 cents. October hogs $82.47, up 35 cents. October feeder cattle $246.02, up 22 cents. This is the Ohio AgNet.